Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Moonlight. We are back. Legacy Moon, True Crime and Mysteries. Yes, Southside Chi-Town, you get your 15 minutes. So I wanted to do right quick. This morning I did a video on Kimani Letigue, and we heard from the grandmother, we heard from the aunt, and we heard the mother cuss some folks out. Okay. So we heard all of those things. But she's actually done an interview, and I cannot wait to see it. I haven't seen it yet. Bible lady said, Lord, I'm gonna be up until 6 a.m. and gotta be at work in the dining room at 7 a.m. We're not going to be long. We're just going to go through this interview because I'm very anxious to hear what she has to say. I would do this as a pre record, but the last time I did that, it did not work. So I just assume come back and do this. The video is like, I think 20 minutes long. So we are not, honest to goodness, I promise you, we will not be on here too long. Really, I just probably no more than an hour. So let's see who we got. We've got the only black but not bitter, Bible Lady, Salty Buzzard, Pen Pal 50, Justin's mom, Aunt Natty, Wendy Shy, and let me see. Okay, we got where? Oh, Michi 3, Ray Della Lewis. And you heard from me, y'all. And earlier today, if you missed what we did earlier today on her, check it out because it was a very good live, and we had Bible Lady come up and also share what her theories on the case, and I really appreciate that. So now we are going to hear what the mother had to say. Oh, I guess it would help if I actually pulled YouTube up. Okay. Uh, oh, wait a minute. Let me put this aside. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm up here doing too much. Okay. So let me pull up this interview and share my screen. Okay. All right. So, and I'm using this from the page of True Crime Savage Roy. Hopefully, well, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, wait. Okay. Let me do my thing too now that I think about it. Let me do my thing. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Fair use disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, reaction, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Okay, got that out the way. Okay, here we go.
Right here. Oh, okay. You changed your name? Oh, I know what I'm supposed
Is
to
this
do.
her? Let me see. Is this you, baby?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's her.
I have a bunch of phone calls I need to make. That's whatever it is that you guys need. I need it to be quick. I gotta get back to this stuff.
What? Oh my
Can
gosh.
y'all hear her?
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, I hear her.
Okay. Hey,
But
Mama Jeannie, how are you, love? And my condolences to you. So the first thing that we trying to get an understanding is that's the first thing, the number one thing is how are you doing? Is what I'm gonna say first before answering you any questions and stuff.
I'm
oh, you gotta
putting a
speak
brave
up.
face. I am speaking up. I can't speak up no more. My nose is stopped up too.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
You know, she's just a miserable individual. I mean, why go on here with these people if you go on? I mean, she acts like she has an attitude. Hey, happy to be happy. Did I speak? Yeah, I did. Didn't I? Hey, happy to be happy. Um, Pen Pal 50 said, I listened to the live on replay. Good assessment at Bible Lady. Very good assessment. Bible Lady said, and judging. And me too.
but I've been trying to brave face. Here, let me drop down and let me pop back up because I
Okay.
don't know what's happening.
Okay. And Nutbusters, I'm gonna drop you down and so that I can hear her better.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, this bell, this is gonna.
And then I'll bring her back up and then we can hear her a little better.
This is Savage Royalty. Uh,
Because it probably Nutbuster's sound is probably taking hers out a little bit. All right, there we go. Can you hear?
Hear me now?
Let me see. Can I hear you? Say something.
Hey,
Can you
I'm
hear
sorry.
me?
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Kazaria.
that's a thing. Justin's mom, that bill, that's a thing they do on TikTok.
Yeah, I can hear you. Give me
Oh,
1 second, love. Get in here and close that door now. Close it all the way.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Push it. Push it. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. It's a lot going on in this house. I'm okay. I could be a lot better. I'm trying to keep a brave face right now because if I break, a lot of my family is going to break too, and they're trying to make sure that I keep going forward. Um,
Salty butter.
I still have I have not grieved yet. I haven't given myself that time because if I stop moving, nothing's going to get done.
Right. Right. This is from TikTok. So, this is, I don't know, the gifting or something like that. TikTok live sometimes can be annoying. But this woman that you hear, not this woman you're looking at, but the voice that you hear is Kimani's mother.
so I just have a few questions. I don't want to hold you because I don't really want to put too much on you than you can bear. Okay. So the main question, the $1 million question that a lot of people are confused about is how long was Kimani with her grandmother and the godmother?
She's been bounced back and forth between my mother and my godmother since she was a year and a half.
Did you actually lose custody? I heard said something where they lied on you and said that that you had did something and that's how she got custody. How did you lose custody of her?
They took her from the hospital from me. I never got to take her home.
Oh wow. And they didn't give a reason?
So it was a bunch of false allegations that were put on me. They said everything from me being a junkie, me bouncing from place to place with strangers, me medically neglecting my. I told you to stop. Sit down. Come on.
Okay, this baby, if they took the baby from the hospital, and that, according to what we saw earlier that I played of her cussing her mother out, that was the mother's firstborn grandchild. So that would lead me to believe that this is her first child. So how can they accuse her of things? Um, straight from the hospital. I mean, I don't understand. Salty Buzzer said, I can't think of somewhere else. I can think of somewhere else to stick that bell. Bible Lady said, who is you? Pen Pal 50 says, was that her biological dad? Look, hopefully she sheds light on that because it was she says that it wasn't the biological dad. Her mother said she thought he was the biological dad. So I don't know. Hopefully she'll shed light on it. Wendy Shaw says she probably had drugs in her system. If I'm Hey Beauty is her name. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't she a young mother? Bible Lady says, how do you medically neglect a baby at birth and you're still in the hospital? Exactly. Hopefully she sheds light on it.
Come here.
I mean, I'm just listening to what's going on in her background, and this just is not.
They said that I medically neglected my daughter, and a bunch of other things that were not true. I brought them full documentation of everything that was going on because I wasn't living up here. I was living in Cleveland even then. And I only came up here to allow my mother to see her grandbaby be born. I'm her first child. And I was told that I was supposed to have been aborted. So the fact that she still gave me life when she really didn't have the means to do so, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to give her that gift.
Keep in mind that it has been said that her mother, lost custody of all of them. So how was she able to get custody of a child? It makes no sense. And this godmother, this is just weird. Southside Shy Town said the baby had drugs in her system. Did she? Because I don't know that for sure. Aunt Nettie said maybe she didn't have any prenatal care. Yeah, but they still can't take your baby for that. Not getting prenatal care is not. Listen, it's hard to get protective services to come out to investigate actual abuse going on. Somebody not getting prenatal is not enough for protective services to get involved or for them to allow someone else to take your baby from the hospital. I know, like, I have a cousin who is raising two of our cousins, and the first one, after a few weeks, they called. They were looking for a relative to take one of the kids, and my cousin took one. And then when the second one was born, I think the mother just went on ahead and left the baby in the hospital. So I don't know the circumstances. This doesn't make sense, but okay.
But like I said, I got down here. The documentation that I brought consisted of like my lease, my W-2s, my medical records, because that was what they were saying. They were saying I medically neglected my daughter. I brought them my full medical records with, my baby's midwife and my doula's number, all of that good stuff.
Okay, she had a midwife and a doula. There's nothing wrong with that. People do that, but okay. If she had a midwife and a doula, how did she have the baby? Usually people with midwives and doulas don't have babies in the hospital, but okay. Beauty is her name says substances are the only way I can square the thought of a medical neglect in the womb. That's the only thing I could think of too. But she had a doula and a midwife, so. And to be honest with you, someone who has a doula and a midwife doesn't sound like somebody who is using substances when they are pregnant. Now, that's in my opinion, but we'll see.
I brought them my lease. I brought them the title to my car. I brought them W-2s from all of my jobs to try to like prove to them that the things that were being told about me were false. And the last time I gave it to them was during what calls a staff meeting. I gave it to them the last time in that staff meeting, and they tore it up in my face and threw it in the trash and continued on with the meeting like nothing had happened. So,
but you said she never went home with you though, right? She never got a chance to like go home. You just gave birth to her.
They took her from the hospital.
Took her from the hospital. Okay, so my question, and my next question, I don't want to hold you into, too long. I know you got a lot to do and you're busy right now. I understand.
Yeah, Bible lady, a midwife and a doula birth are usually they're generally peaceful, serene, and at home or in like birthing centers. So it's strange that she would have those things, and they're saying she medically neglected. Everything about this case is just strange. From the grandmother to the aunt, it's just all strange. The interviews are weird. These people should not be doing any media. Period. No media.
So they took her from you. Now, during this time that when they took her from you, the first person that she went with was the godmother, correct?
The godmother. They gave my godmother kinship care over my daughter when she was a year and a half.
Okay. And how long did she stay with the godmother?
I'm not exactly sure. I believe she stayed there solely up until she was like 5 or 6, and then they started.
How does she not know? How long? Oh my gosh. This case is going to wear me out. Bible lady said the people need to take their ass somewhere and sit down.
Started bouncing her back and forth between the two.
Okay, so this basically lines up with what the grandmother said, that she was there off and on for about 5 years. Would that be fair to say?
My daughter's about to be 14 tomorrow. No. No, that's still not accounting for, that's accounting for like 3 to 4 years.
Okay, so that timeline is just a little bit conflicted. Okay, so during this,
Okay, Aunt Nettie said, but if she left Cleveland and went to Toledo, would the midwife and doula go with her? To be honest, when you have a midwife and these things are pre-planned. If she had planned to go, I mean, she could make arrangements. It depends on who your midwife and your doula is. She could make arrangements, but like I said, these births usually don't even happen in the hospital. So I can't even make sense of this. Pen Pal 50 says something in the milk ain't clean with this case. You are so right. I agree. Wendy Shy says she doesn't know, she wasn't around, who had her the first year. Right. Now, according to the grandmother, from what I understand, this godmother had her up until she was, I guess, 5. And then once she turned 5, she was bounced back and forth between the two of them. The mother was around, so I don't know why she doesn't know this. And I also don't understand how is it I never understand these cases where a mother does not have one kid, but they have, but the mother, she has the rest of them. I mean, there are cases like if you had a child when you were living at home and that child has become attached to the grandparents or whatever. And sometimes, that person, especially if they were younger when they had the child, might leave, the child in the custody of their parents. When they move out, they might eventually have more kids. I mean, I could see something like that. But this was her firstborn child. If she was neglectful in any kind of way to that first one, how is it that she has the rest of them? Makes no sense to me. Bible lady said the grandmother should go. Let me see. The grandmother, you said she got her when she was 9 months. Bible lady said the midwife and doula. Um, I don't know what you're saying there.
time of her being there, how many years did you fight for your daughter after she was born?
Hey, I'm on the phone. No, do not open that door. No.
Whew, Lord.
You want to go out there? You can go out there and play if you want to. But I can't have you playing in here. But no, I've always fought for my daughter. I've fought for my daughter since the day that I had her.
Give me 1 second. I pressed the button. I'm sorry. So say that again because I pressed my mixer. My apologies. Say that one more time for me.
I said I've always been fighting for my daughter. That fight has never ended. Shit. In June, my mother was supposed to be signing a third-party custody transfer so that I could get my baby back because she said that she did not want her anymore. She said my daughter was stealing, my daughter was lying. I don't know that any of that is factual, and I don't believe it. But she said that my daughter was doing a whole bunch of stuff, and she just couldn't take it anymore. She wanted me to get my daughter. We were supposed to be going to court for that to give me custody of my daughter back because every place that I've always had space for my daughter. I've always made sure I had means to take care of.
Yeah, but the child was turning 14. Sapphire Wu says Kimani had a godmother, guardians, but the grandmother was taking care of Kimani and getting funds from the godmother. Yes, Ray Del Lewis, this bell is very annoying, but I really want to hear what this mother has to say. Bible Lady said the doula and the midwife are there to assist with giving birth. Sapphire Wu said the aunt said the bio mom had not seen her daughter in 4 years. See, but they contradicted themselves in that interview because she said that. Then she said the mother was at the party last year. Then she said the mother was helping plan the party, the basketball party this year. So just in the interviews alone that the aunt and the mother did, they gave conflicting statements, like all in the same interview.
Right. So this abuse. What do you know about this abuse? Because one thing that I'm noticing is that there's a fair consensus from multiple family members that she was getting hit on by the grandmother. Did you know about anything about this, and how long did you know, and what steps did you take outside of fighting for custody?
My and my did a very good job of as far away from my daughter as they could. I think that was so that they would be able to do what it was that they wanted to do, how they wanted to do it. Again, I still have my parental rights, but because they are guardian, because they are custodian, if they don't give me the go ahead, I can't do anything.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, did you hear about the abuse? Like, how did you know anything about the abuse that the grandmother was doing?
I didn't hear about the abuse until the only thing that I've seen, because I've never even seen my mother hit my daughter other than like a spoon, like a wooden spoon to her hand. I haven't witnessed any of that, and I think that was for a reason.
Okay.
Yes, Bible Lady said so. Granny had complaints about Kimani. Apparently so, other than she was a tomboy and she didn't like boys. Pen Pal 50 said, still, you have the parental rights, huh? I'm confused about that too. I'm confused about that too. It's like you got to woosah. Okay. Salty Buzzer said, wooden spoon on the hand. No. Well, now I'm going to tell you now, my mother and my sister, they used to do that now, but they didn't tap on the hands. If you got to tap on the hands, it's because you're getting ready to stick it in the socket and you take your hand and tap the kid. But yeah, they were spanked if they were spanked with the wooden spoon. But I don't think they really had to be spanked that much. But I mean, a kitchen spoon that came from the Dollar Tree. Sapphire Wu said another lie. The aunt said she couldn't understand why Tiara never tried to get her daughter. See, that's what I'm saying. Conflicting stories amongst the three of them. And I still want clarification on this father thing.
And she is your biological mother, because that was in question as well, correct?
Yes.
She is my biological mother, unfortunately.
So that is her biological, because that has, see, the thing, the prop, I was talking about this earlier about internet sleuths. It could be a good thing, but it's also could be a bad thing, because if you would see all the misinformation that is going around Facebook about this case, and actually a couple of other ones that I'm interested in, it's not always a good idea to have people on the internet in these cases. Salty Buzzard said, I got my butt smacked with whatever my granny could get a hold of if I couldn't get my grandpa, but not the hand.
How they ended up, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all are so loud. I cannot even think straight. Can y'all please? That's why I said go out there and play with them so that they can scream and yell and holler as much as they want. Baby, my head, it's a lot of stuff going on in my head. I cannot focus. Can y'all please step out? Please. I'm not trying to be mean to y'all, but I need y'all out. Please. Go. I'm sorry.
Listen, you're okay. I'm a mother. I don't care about none of that. You do you. It's okay. Go ahead.
Well, is there any other questions?
No,
or
I was
anything?
saying
'Cause
as far as
I got it.
No, I was saying as far as the abuse and things of that nature, you said that you didn't know anything about it. You just knew about the spoon and stuff like that. That's what you was explaining.
Yeah. About anything. The only thing I've ever seen my mother do to my daughter was hit her with the spoon. But I've recently met a bunch of my family that I didn't know existed, and they didn't know I existed. Apparently, they've been trying to figure out where this light skinned baby came from.
Wow.
But just meeting them, and they have stories on top of stories on top of stories. People that have lived with my mother for months or years on end are telling me what they've witnessed. So
Can you explain your sister? Apparently, your sister went on the news and she said that you never around and you only came around because you were fussing about the child support and $900. Can you explain why she would go on the news and portray it that way, or why she would say that you were never around?
I don't deal with my sister first off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't talk to her if if she don't talk to me. I raised all my little sisters and brothers. I was the protector. I was the provider for them when we were in foster care. And I put myself in harm's way to make sure that they didn't have to go through the things that I went through. I don't talk to our family is not tight knit. So I don't.
These questions that these people are putting up here are ridiculous. They are asking some of the most asinine questions. Sapphire said no, Tiara had not been at Kamani's birthday party 4 years ago. Tiara was invited to the basketball party. Look, I'm just repeating what the grandmother said. Beauty is her name said the mother's own words make it sound like it wasn't like she wasn't around. Pen Pal 50 said, what did you go through? They were in, see, this is what I don't understand. The kids, her and her siblings were in foster care, removed from the mother. So I just don't understand how, if you didn't raise your own kid, how you can get a grandkid straight from the hospital or get her when she's 5. However, another thing is, if this Kimani's friends knew about the abuse, they saw the bruises. We saw an interview that a friend did talking about the bruises. She told the friend where the bruises came from. She told the teachers she didn't feel safe at her multiple schools. They called protective services. Protective services went out and told the grandmother what was acceptable spanking. That's all they did.
Really speak to her that often. But that is not the same energy that she had when she called me and told me that my baby was missing. Because she's the one that let me know.
Okay.
I had no idea. I don't do social media.
Understandable. Now, there's another misconception, or some that's getting people a little bit confused as well, is that people were going around, and I'm just here because I've been watching it from the very beginning. So don't think I'm just someone that just hopped of it and don't know anything. People are saying that is Kimani, is this her biological father? Okay, and would you know why people are saying it's someone else? They were saying that the grandmother said it's not, or something like that.
So they said that my mom said that. Where she got that from, I'm not sure. But shit. People are also saying that my mom and my daughter's dad have been sleeping together this whole time too. So I don't know.
Yes, somebody said that. I did hear that. Like I said, Facebook is, it could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. And right now with this case, so much misinformation is out there. So now we know that was Kimani's father. Now we know that the mother has confirmed it. Sapphire Wu said, regardless of all these people who are lying and the father unalived her, but the child was abused all her life, even by so-called godmother. That's why she did not name her. Yeah, well, guess what? I know the name and I've seen the record, and she had no business with the child. That godmother had, because the godmother is this young lady's godmother, and she had no business having that child, period. None of these people should have had that child. And I will stand firm in what I say. Something ain't right with this case. And I don't necessarily believe that the father did what is said he did. I don't know that, yeah, he's given inconsistent statements. He's been, he hasn't given like an official statement, but when they interviewed him, he was given inconsistent statements. I'm still on the fence as to whether or not he was the one who unalived her, simply because there were some very strange and unnecessary things that the aunt and the grandmother were saying in the interview. So I don't know what happened to this young lady, and between that and then the police officer who is just, was going on and saying, oh, she was this, she was that. The coroner has not confirmed any of that. The coroner has said that she had, wounds to her neck. That officer, that, from the Fraternal Order of Police, said she was, she was practically decapitated, and the coroner has not said anything about an assault in a sexual manner or anything about these hands missing. So I don't know that any of that is true. Salty Buzzer said, too bad this young lady had the audio issues. Yeah, and these dang, because I really want to hear from her. Beauty is her name says, why wouldn't they do a DNA test if it was a question of paternity? Well, yeah, but the mother just confirmed that she doesn't know where the grandmother got that from. She has no idea where the grandmother got that from. Salty Buzzer said, I'm with you, Legacy. Bible Lady said, there's a lot about the cascade has rubbed by the entirely wrong family. I know you're late, Bible Lady, and you probably got typos, but between the grandmother, the aunt, the father, that officer who was there on scene when he was arrested, between all, I don't trust anything any of them say. I really don't.
And you just learned that they were dealing with each other on a personal note. That's crazy, and I'm so sorry.
If it like the only
No, this is her biological mother. She was not adopted. That is her biological mother. That is another one of those false stories that is going around. The mother said that was her biological child. She said that was her biological mother, unfortunately. And there is also video footage, which is in my video from earlier today, where she's talking about the mother and how the mother wanted to abort her when she was pregnant with her. So that is not true. She was not adopted. That is the bio mom.
time I really talk to my mother or my child's father is if it's concerning my child. If you tell me my kid needs something, I got it. If you tell me my kid wants to do something, I got it. If my kid is short on something, or shit, if the house is short on something where my baby is residing, I'm going to make sure I take care of it.
Bible Lady, I know. I figured that. I knew that. I just wasn't going to call you out.
There has been times my mother has called me legitimately 3 days in a row. The last time she did this, I was homeless.
Mute yourself, Nutbuster. Mute yourself.
She called me the first day.
Okay. Go ahead.
There was the last time she called me and was asking for money back to back was when I was homeless. I was literally living in my car, had nowhere to go. And she called me one day and was like, hey, I need like $600. We ain't got no food in this house. I said, okay. She called me the next day. Hey, I need $300. $100. I'm trying to do something for Kimani's birthday. Okay. She called me the day after. Hey, can you send me 60? I'm $60 short for her cake. No, I can't, because now I'm flat broke.
Wow.
See what I'm talking about? Inconsistency. She just said she's always had a home for Kimani. Now she's saying she's homeless. Um Hey champions, how you doing? Bible Lady says I have a lot of questions regarding these imbeciles. Me too.
So it was just always.
If you call me and tell me my kid needs something, call me and tell me it's always been about money.
Wow.
But regardless of that, like I said, my only concern has been I don't care about the money. Money comes and goes.
Yeah. So they were saying so that this house that your mother lived in, I've heard that your mother was on drugs. I've heard that it was pedophiles and pimps and crackheads living in there. Was she treating this house like a boarding house for the community? What do you know about that, of the people that were coming in and out this household?
I didn't know about the crackheads and all of that mess until after I got here. I only found out about Wayne, my little brother's dad, staying at my mother's house when he got out, because my dad called me and told me. And I asked her why he was there. And I told her that I was uncomfortable with him being there because he just did 22, 23 years and ain't seen a woman. I don't want him nowhere near my kid.
And he's a registered sex offender, correct?
Staying at that house, from what I knew, was family.
No, I'm saying, but Wayne, he was a registered sex offender. That's what he was in the penitentiary for, right?
No, Wayne was in the penitentiary because he killed somebody over 50 cents in a slice of pizza. So, mental health, top tier, you know?
The officer was hot, and here's another thing about it. He should not have done it. He's an officer, right? He knows he's an officer. That was wrong, and I'm not, since it's so late, I do have the police department, they've been interviewed about the whole situation of what the guy did. We were talking about it earlier, that sometimes when bodies are found, even if they have their suspect, they hold something back. We should not have known anything about her being assaulted in a sexual way or her hands being missing. We should not have been told that, because I think that would have been a tool that they could use when questioning the father, or even, anyone else who might be a suspect, because I'm not so sure they're not suspects. Now, I did hear that the grandmother had all kinds of people in and out of that house. I did hear that. So, and she is kind of confirming that is true. So I'm sorry, I just am not satisfied that the father should be the only suspect and the only person charged. Hey, Shaby. Hey, Ebony. Ebony said, I think he was overcome with emotions. And I'll tell you something else. He's not stable. He's not mentally stable. I went through his Facebook page. He is not mentally stable. So, like I said, I'm on the fence that he is the actual suspect.
Wow. Okay. So now that all of this is out and things of that nature, right? I know that the day before she went missing, she was at your house because you had the birthday party for your other daughter. And you said that you gave her some money, and then you also gave the father some money. Now, here's what kind of had me confused, is because they were saying that you really didn't get a chance to see your baby for a lot of years. Is that correct?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's incorrect. My daughter was at my house on the 15th, Saturday the 15th. Her and her sister had already spent the week up here together, because I have a 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
She was up here with Kima for a whole week before that. My daughter's dad got permission from my mother to bring Kimani to me on Saturday the 15th. That had nothing to do with no birthdays. I don't know where people keep getting that from, but that's not what I said. She came up to see me because, again, I'm paying child support. I still have my parental rights. So that was my visit. But she sat with me hours. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess my mother wanted her home before the night was over for whatever reason. But they stayed for 2 hours. We played the video game. We joked, we played. We had a good time.
Okay.
We had a good time.
Okay,
And
Spicy, I did say that. I'm sorry to interrupt. I did say that because I knew Zaza's birthday was on the 17th. And I was just like asking you because you were getting stuff together for her birthday on the weekend. So yeah, I did say that.
okay, it was the weekend. Okay. And so he came and took her there and then took her back home. Now, do you guys even, let me ask you this, maybe you would know. Do you guys even know if she even ever made it back home?
I don't know. From what I was told, she was home because she went to school on Monday. The kids at her school vouched, yes, she was here, and she walked with us to school. We had lunch, and she walked with us after school. She went home.
Okay. Wow. All righty.
There's that she walks to school with. If she doesn't get on the bus, a group of kids that she walks home with if she doesn't get on the bus.
Okay. Now, can you give
But
us some
she
clarity
wasn't.
on this timeline? When was she officially reported missing? I think that's also some inconsistencies in
Yes,
that for
it
people
is.
too.
I don't know when she was officially reported missing. So from what I understand, from what was told to me, she went missing Tuesday. My mother claims that she noticed that she figured out that my daughter was missing when she got home, which was supposed to have been 10 o'clock. But apparently she still had not reported it at that time. She called my cousin Kat, which is Big Cat.
See, this is what I have a problem when these children go missing and you start calling other people, you call everybody but the police. That's where I take issue, just like Naziah Harris. Why was Naziah missing almost a whole day before anybody called the police? And as a matter of fact, that grandmother didn't even call the police. She called the school. So when you have children that go missing and, nobody calls the police, we're calling other people, that's a problem. This is another reason why I am very suspicious, and I'm not so sure that this father, who has, as I said, he is not stable at all. He is not stable. I'm not going to say, and he might have gone through that thing with the police because he wanted unaliving by cop, because he has expressed multiple times he was struggling with something and he was wanting to end it all. Ebony said, I've heard about Dad's Facebook, haven't seen it yet. Yeah, and I don't want to play it because I don't want to put too much focus on that and on him. Because out of all these characters, to be honest with you, he's the one that I think is the most. If I had to pick a suspect, it wouldn't be him. It would not be him. And there's something's going on. There is something going on. And I don't know what. And I'm looking dead at the grandmother.
Facebook, I'm sure you guys have seen her today. I don't know that any part of that is true. But I did not find out until almost 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. Like I said, my sister, the same one that's on the news talking crazy now, is the one that even let me know that my daughter was missing. My mother did not call me about anything, even remotely related to my kid, until Thursday. The Thursday after she went missing at 3:49 p.m.
Wow. So
My mom.
this is kind of
Yeah.
thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate it. So now that we are in, your sister had went into the news, and she also had mentioned so when your sister, when she was on the news, and she basically is saying that you never around, there's also some allegations that your sister was one that was a part of the things that was going on in the house. Have you heard anything about your sister leaving your daughter out while they leave the house for hours throughout the day and she had nowhere to go? Have you heard those allegations yet?
Don't know nothing about that. I know that I have been told that apparently my sister's son, my nephew RJ, was apparently touching my baby as well. And my cousin.
Aha. Aha. We have a bingo moment, Bible lady. Bingo moment.
Told me that as well. No, no, my mother has not talked to me about this. My sister has not brought this to my attention. The people that are responsible for taking care of her are the people that should be telling me what's going on. When something's wrong, regardless of how big or how little it is, you should be letting me know. That is still my child. I still care for her. I still love her. Still go above and beyond for her.
And how old was this son
But it's
of
the
hers?
fact.
How old is her son?
I spoke to them every time I spoke to my child, every time I spoke to my child, every time I spoke to my mother, every time I spoke to my child's father, everything seemed normal. And I ask questions. I want to know what's going on. And I think my daughter just didn't say anything out of fear.
Yeah, possibly very scared.
Okay, so I've heard from her, the mother, and the grandmother. If I had to pick who I thought story sounded a little bit better, it would be hers. It would be hers.
And then she who could she really go to? Now I want to also get an understanding of the father as well. There's videos, old videos popping up of him, and I'm trying to get an understanding of his character, because I remember your other video when you first did the interview with Nutbuster, and you said, that he wouldn't do anything like this. What do you think happened?
I've known this man since I was 19 years old. I am a girl's girl and always have been a girl's girl even before that was coined. If somebody would have came to me and told me that this was something that he was into, or this was something that he could have had the potential to do, or they thought he did it or he did it or whatever, I'm going to stand by them. If any woman would have approached me and been like, hey, he's fucking weird, I would have taken heed to that. I have never heard of him doing anything of the sort. Even some of my cousins went to school with him. They said he was a square, has always been a square. So none of this was, I was.
He doesn't seem like the type either, but that doesn't mean anything. You know how that goes. Hey, let's talk about it all. Hey, how you doing?
Wasn't expecting him to have anything to do with this, but I can't say I put anything past anybody. As of right now, everybody's fucking guilty, and I don't care. So, and you can talk, listen, and I see y'all in the comments. Y'all can talk about all y'all want, but at the end of the day, I'm doing what I have to do to make sure that my baby gets a proper burial. I'm trying to do what I have to do to make sure that my kid is.
You don't have to reply to them, okay?
I'm not about to put on no. I'm not about to put on no show for y'all. I will grieve when I have time to grieve. Right now, this
Ebony, she says she doesn't know where that came from other than her mother. She says that Darnell is the biological father, and she does not know where that came from.
Other things I need to take care of. I have a young child with me. My child.
Y'all do not attack her. Do not attack her. I don't. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Not Buster. Give me 1 second. I don't know who all y'all is that's in the comments, but this is Savage Royalties Live. Okay. This is not like any other body's live on here. Okay. This woman, regardless of how y'all feel, lost a child. Do not disrespect her in my comments. You can take that to somebody else's live. Do not you can't tell her how to feel. You can't tell her. Do not do that over here. Do not, please, out of respect for me. You can have your own feelings, but respect my live. I don't have admins for because people know I don't play them games. Go ahead, love. Go ahead, Nutbuster.
Okay, so Spicy. When I was on the phone with you that day, didn't I already say he was a weirdo? Like he was even did that messy shit with calling, you know, calling her while we were talking. I already said he was a weirdo, so I don't know why the person in the comments was like, "Oh, you said he was." I did say he was weird. I did say that. I've been saying that, and it's just more so to say that people don't care what type of. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
He called my mother like he had to check in with her.
Yes, I called him a weirdo. So yes, I did. Everything that I have said up here, I have said to her. And it's just like more so I feel like this is not the time.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's it. Oh, my goodness. Let me stop sharing. So this is kind of eyebrow raising. I was trying to find this person up here called Nutbuster. I guess I will go over to TikTok to see what's going on there. I to be honest, if I have to do a credibility test between her, the mom, and her, the grandmom, and her sister, I'm more with her. The grandmother and the aunt just are not credible to me. Ebony says, "Oh, okay, I heard I had to discern what goes with the cast of characters." Right. So she is saying, Kimani's mom is saying that Darnell is the biological father. She doesn't know where the grandmother got that from. The only person I heard saying that he was not the biological father was the grandmother. When the grandmother, on the video I did earlier today, and I played the grandmother's interview, it was not, she just wasn't consistent in her interview. Neither was the aunt. I am very concerned with the fact that they kept bringing up that she is a tomboy and that she didn't like boys. That is very concerning to me. That was irrelevant. When they were being interviewed, not one time did either one of them say, "Oh, she was a wonderful person. I miss my baby's gone." Nobody cried. Okay. You can't tell people how to grieve or react. So I'm not going to take points away saying, "Oh, neither one of them cried. They weren't upset." However, I found it strange how aggressive they were in their interview. I found it strange that they didn't tell a nice, consistent, cohesive story. I have a problem with the fact that they contradicted themselves on the same interview. I'm not saying they did an interview here and then they did another one and it contradicted that one. No, in the interview itself, it was very contradicting. Now we're hearing that, and I had heard that the mother had a different cast of people running in and out the house. I still don't understand how a grandmother who didn't raise her own children, whose children were put in foster care, how she can have a child in her home. I don't understand any of this. And now we're hearing from the mother that there was a nephew in the home that was possibly touching her. She said he was touching her. I will say allegedly. So when you put all this together, the only thing I can say is I'm not so sure that the father did this. I'm just not. Let me see. Bible lady says she said he's bad to check in. Yeah, he had to check in with the mother. Mm-hmm. Pen Pal 50 says she's definitely more believable than the grandmother. The aunt did shed a couple of tears. That doesn't mean anything, and she did. She did share. She did shed some tears. Um, Sapphire Wu says, so you think all of them are lying? I'm telling you, the direction of this case, I am really anxious to see where it goes because this is not something in the wash ain't clean. Something is wrong. And I think that eyes should be on another thing about this is weird when they like when she when the cops took her away, the grandmother, because the mob of people was outside her house, her requesting to be handcuffed. She never gave a reason why she requested that. So that was weird to me. That was weird that she asked to be handcuffed. That I don't get that either. But the bottom line is this poor baby is not here. She was failed by the people who protected her. The school, first of all, it's an indicator when you have a child who's been to, was it 6 schools in 5 years, I think it was, and you have teachers coming on the internet saying, listen, I called protective services twice. I called, so protective services had been called. They had gone out twice to the grandmother's home and nothing happened. But yet this young lady is telling the teachers that she doesn't feel safe. Her friends witnessed bruises on her, and she said her grandmother did it. She told her friend this. Now, this thing about the father going over there that night, because she called the father and said she was scared at home, because he is telling inconsistent stories, I'm not sure. I will be looking around for police interviews or anything. I do have some documents that I will post in members. And the reason why I am only posting it in members is because due to the nature of the case and the nature of the documents and things, I do not want that just willy-nilly loose on the internet. So I will put it in members. But I will tell you, the father, this godmother, and I've seen their records. They have lengthy records. But the mother / grandmother, I don't know what her record is, but it's my understanding she has one too. So, but the godmother's record it's atrocious. It is atrocious. So I will be putting all of that in members. Yeah, today would have been her birthday. This is just sad, and I'm gonna stay on and keep up with whatever. I might be on sometime tomorrow if I can before it's time for After Dark. I'm gonna try to get on here to do the police interviews and stuff. But other than that, Pen Pal 50 says, yes, the grandmother has a criminal background. Okay. Bobby Lady said the truth lies in the text of the father and the grandma. Right. And I want to see. That's another thing. The grandmother faking these text messages. What was that all about? Just weird. Just weird stuff. And, like I said, if there's anybody who missed the live that I did this morning, check it out. Bible Lady has a very good perspective on it, and I appreciate her sharing that. And I'm in line with Bible Lady. I think that there was an issue with this young girl being tomboyish. And the last thing I'm gonna say I took issue with is all of the pictures that were used in the search for her were of a younger her. And there was no reason for that. She has a whole TikTok page. And if you look at the TikTok page and you look at her now and you look at all those photos that was circulating when she was missing, if you passed her on the street, you wouldn't be able to pick her out because there is a very big difference. She looks the same, but she's older. If I'm looking for a missing child with pigtails, I'm looking for a missing child with pigtails, So just weird stuff, a lot of weird stuff. Pen Pal 50 said, yes, the text messages were weird. And I think I have those posted online, but I'm going to move them over to members with the rest of the stuff. Salty Buzzer said, I actually caught 2 shows, I think this morning, but couldn't see well enough to keep up with in the chat. So I just listened. Yeah, I think this is my 4th live. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is my 4th live. So yeah, I did 2. I did members. My first story was her, and then I went to members. And then I came on to do body cam, and I'm back. So yeah, I've been on here all day. Sapphire Wu said she wanted to be handcuffed because the mob was going to mop the streets with her. Yeah, but if the police are coming to take you into protective custody, why you need to be cuffed? That's just weird. It's weird. Makes no sense to me. But we're going to get out of here so I can go to bed. I will see all of you hopefully after dark tomorrow night. And I'm not going to be on here tomorrow, maybe sort of kind of. If I get a moment to jump on just to go over the police interview, I will. But if not, I will get to it the weekend. Y'all have yourselves a good night. Now, if I do come on before after dark, it will be in the evening. I don't know what time though. Good night, everyone.